It is cloudy outside, and therefore potentially my face is going to be shrouded. Such is the case when you use natural lighting in videos. Also, my clavicle, that is part of my collarbone, is broken, so I think my arm's going to be in a sling for the next couple of videos. Welcome back, everyone. My name is James, and you are watching James of Many Names. For this video, I thought of a topic that was somewhat serious, but I'm going to make it much more lighthearted. Have you ever been in a situation where you were having an argument with someone, yet something happened that basically derailed their argument, or yours, because of something you or they did? Did that make any sense? So here it is, 5 things that you can do to derail and destroy your argument faster than your opponent ever could with a counter-argument. Number 1, analogies. Maybe this is because I argue religion with people, and I feel like this crops up mostly in religious or maybe philosophical arguments, if that. People like to use analogies to try to prove their point. Please don't. Analogy is essentially taking an argument from somewhere else and trying to squeeze it into your own argument because you don't have one. Here's what an analogy tells me. It tells me that you don't have an argument, and therefore you're going to use vague other sort of arguments, or not even arguments, just like vague comparisons to kind of squeeze into yours to make an argument, which I can also easily use to my own advantage because that's how vague analogies are. Number 2, yelling. Do I have experience with this one? Here's what yelling tells me. Number 1, you have no self-control. You're probably really passionate about what you're arguing about, and your opponent just isn't listening to you. That's the upcase scenario if you're actually a good and somewhat patient person. That or you're just an angry troll and yelling is your go-to. In either case, here's what happens. Your opponent feels like they are being attacked and they stop listening to you. Therefore, everything you say afterwards when you're yelling has no bearing on the situation because it's not getting through to them, and yeah, we're just wasting our time with the fight now. Number 3, sarcasm. This is my flaw. Sarcasm is one of the best forms of comedy in my opinion, but if you use sarcasm in an argument, you've lost the argument. Because you know what sarcasm is in an argument, it's essentially just an insult. And once your opponent feels insulted, say it with me, they're not listening. They're either going to respond with sarcasm, or they're going to respond with yelling, or they're just going to walk away from the whole situation, which is totally a valid option if I'm being honest. So as much as I love sarcasm, don't use it if you actually want to have a good argument. Number 4, refusal to stop talking. If you can tell, this is my worst one on this list. Not because I fall into it, but because I can't stand people who do this in arguments. Here's how this works. Someone is arguing their point, and they are either, number 1, totally oblivious to the fact that they aren't, actually stopping to catch their breath, and they basically use the same argument, but say it 5 different ways to Sunday. Is that how the phrase goes? Or they are basically assured that their argument is the weaker of the two, and they know you have probably some good points, and so instead of letting you speak, they're gonna never stop talking so they don't have to listen to your argument. In either case, I hate you. Because whether you're oblivious or malicious, in either case, I don't get to give my brilliant argument, and now I'm sitting here thinking, I hate you, I wish I was anywhere but here. Please, for the love of all that is holy, stop talking. And of course, number 5, the one I think every single one of us has fallen into at least once. I guarantee it. I will bet money that every person has fallen into this at least once. Going into an argument without the intention of listening to the opponent. I hate to say this, but when we go into an argument, most of us are going in to give our brilliant point of view. Because, of course we are the smartest point of view. I mean, obviously we're the best point of view. We have brilliant things to say. Heaven forbid the opponent actually has argument or criticism or points which are actually valid and, good. What? No way in heck does the opponent have any sort of good... Who do they think that I am here giving a brilliant argument? How dare they think that they have an argument of that I have a brilliant argument? How egotistical can you get that you think that you have an argument that you can give that is as brilliant as my own? I mean, you get the point. Most of us go in to argue, but not actually to listen. And I think this is actually a serious problem that plagues all of humanity. We really need to pay attention to it. And that was it. 5 things that can destroy your argument faster than your opponent ever possibly could. Let's go out and argue with someone now. Aha! Thank you all so much for watching that video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button down below. And if you can't wait to see what else is coming in the future, click the subscribe button down below. And of course, if you have a friend or a relative who potentially falls into one of these traps of arguments, please share this with them. Because, oh, that's going to get us into more arguments now, isn't it? I'm also a self-published author of fictional works. The first book of my series, Julius Julii, is linked down below. Go check that out. You can read the summary there. It is a combination of historical fiction and some fantasy. And if you are interested in supporting me in my writing, just go check it out. One last time, thank you all so much for watching, and for whatever it's worth to you, may God bless you. Yeah, that wasn't good.